Our first speaker today actually goes back in connections to Marshall County at least as early as 1978. Neal and I worked together in Sid McDonald's campaign for Sid ran for governor that year. And I wish he had been elected. Maybe we could have gotten a head start on some of the good things that are going on now. Neal's biography is in the material on each of the tables. He's the director of the Alabama Development Office, which is the fundamental economic development agency for the state of Alabama. I'm not going to give you all of the information I could. It's like everything else here. We can spend the next 30 minutes talking about Neal's accomplishments. The reality, though, of his ability and success is that the ADO office, the economy of the state of Alabama has been identified as the southeastern leader for the last, 5 straight years. Neal has been twice selected as the top economic development professional in the United States during his term. Neal is here to talk to us about the issue of economic development. Let's welcome Neal Wade.
Thank you very much, Frank. It's a great pleasure to be here today and just to be up in Dunstable and Marshall County and Cincinnati Twins and come up to an area that I think has so much potential. You're already realizing that, and I hope that this session is the beginning of something that's going to have a tremendous impact on this area of economic development. On your table, there should be a card, punch card. We're going to work from this card. You can use it any way you want to. You can throw it away. You can make notes on it. But we're going to talk about strategic planning and about economic development using the points on here. One of the things I say is a working strategy. And I know what you want to come out of this with is a practical strategy for job development. For how do you want to create wealth in this area? Where do you want to improve the quality of life? And it has to be practical. It can't be something that doesn't make sense for your community. It has to be made to work here, or it's not going to work. So let's go through the points, and then I'm going to leave a few minutes for question and answer, and then Bradley and Matthew are going to come in and solve what I consider to be one of the biggest challenges we have in economic development, and that's workforce and workforce training. And what a great thing is going on in this state right now with the leadership that they're bringing, that you're going to hear about in this area, but really is impacting the whole state of Alabama. You know, Thomas Friedman wrote the book, The World is Flat. And what he was trying to say is, we can no longer focus just on the Southeast, or just on our state, or just on America, just on North America. We really are finding that our markets are global. We're doing business all over the world. We're taking companies from this area, from all over the state, into China, into India, into South America, into Central America, places that we've not focused on before. So as you move forward and look at companies that have the potential to grow here, but grow their markets outside the U.S., we're ready to help you think not only globally, think regionally, but globally. To think outside this area and help these companies find new markets. Second part of that, though, is I am a big proponent of regional economic development. Very few communities, very few counties can go it on their own. And I don't know exactly how that fits here, but you are connected to Madison County. You are connected to Huntsville. No matter what you think, what you say, you are. We just went through the Volkswagen process. And I was meeting with your leadership to talk about the impact Volkswagen had come to Madison County or Blackstone County, the impact it would have had on Marshall County. So you are connected And I think any strategy you put together needs to be related to the neighboring areas and how you can benefit off that. Every area has to define economic development. A lot of people think that's recruiting new industry. When we came into office, that was primarily what we did at AEO. We recruited new industry. Governor Riley's had us really try to change the definition of economic development, to make it broader, to make it encompass a lot more of what's going on at the local level, the regional level, and state level. So you really have to define what do you think economic development is for Marshall County and for the community there. Is it recruiting? Is it existing industries? Is it working on companies that have been here for a long time and need to be growing? Is it tourism? Is it retirement? Incubators? Retailers? There are towns in this state who basically said our economic development is to grow retail. So nothing is wrong in whatever you choose or the combination. But you really have to look at where do you think Marshall County can go in the future? Where should it be going? Where can you maximize the potential for growth and job development? To do all of these things, you really have to have a thoroughly aligned local leadership. You've got 4 distinct communities in Marshall County, 4 areas with different leaders, and all of them, to make this work, have got to get on a common page, a common direction, to help you as you move forward. All of the leaders really need to agree, this is where we want to take Marshall County. And we're going to be a part of that. We're going to be a part of the leadership part of that, but you have to be aligned. When we bring prospects in, one of the first things they notice is how the leadership works together, how they work with prospects, how they work to answer questions, deal with common problems. Are they on the same page? So any strategy that you come up with is going to have to answer that question. You know, Vince Lombardi said winning is everything. In our business, that's not true. In our business, play is everything, is the most important thing. If you're not in a position to compete, if you're not able to get in the game, you can't win. We were able to compete for Volkswagen. We didn't win it, but had we not dealt with certain things at the beginning of the process, when there were a number of states involved in it, we would never be in a position to even get in the final group. So recognizing that you have to do certain things to get in the game is really more important than thinking about winning the project, winning the development, winning whatever you're trying to accomplish. Playing is everything. And to do that, you have to be prepared to play. Years ago, the Alabama Development Office had a program called Prepared Communities. You remember that, don't you? And you know, it was an effort to go into a community and identify strengths, weaknesses, things that can be done to make it better. That's gone away. Really, what you're doing today is the same thing. You're trying to get your communities and your county as prepared as possible so that they can play in the economic development game. Looking around, we're going to talk about strengths and weaknesses, but it all comes together and looking at what does it take for you to be prepared to play, what is necessary that you're going to have to do, what steps, where you're going to have to spend money, where you have to put infrastructure in. Those kind of things are going to help you be more prepared to play. And one of those things is you have to have product. If you're going to go out and recruit or you're going to grow this area, you have to have product, you have to have infrastructure, you have to have all those things that companies are looking for today if you want to be successful. Too many economic developers go on recruiting trips or trade missions or whatever to call on companies and they don't even have product to sell. So looking at once you define what economic development is, and then knowing where you want to go, then do you have the things in place from a product standpoint that then will allow you to be successful. We'll turn the card over. You'll follow the card.